Hello, welcome to Year 5. I'm Mrs. Richards, one of the Year 5 teachers at Glenfrey, and I'm here to talk you through what we do in Year 5 at our school. So, for our curriculum, the topics we look at are the Anglo-Saxons, followed by the Vikings. Then in terms 3 and 4, we look at space and earth. And then finally, in terms 5 and 6, we look at ancient Greece. We will explore these topics thoroughly throughout lots of different themes and activities throughout those terms. Linked to these topics, we also read relevant books. So we have started the year by looking at Anglo-Saxons and are therefore reading Anglo-Saxon Boy, which is linked to some factual events, also some interesting descriptions of what happened at the time. We will then go on to look at Lady of Shalott. Odysseus we will look at when we look at the Greeks in terms 5 and 6. And George's Secret Key to the Universe we cover with space in terms 3 and 4. There are many books that are recommended to read in Year 5, some of which we have in school. Please have a look at some more information on booksfortopics.com to have a closer look at some of these texts, which would be amazing if you can read them at home with your children, or they can get a copy to read as well. Handwriting and spellings for this year group. There are statutory spellings to learn for years 5 and 6. These can be found online and also on the screen currently. Please make sure that your children also know the statutory spellings for years 3 and 4 as well. We do model and the children practice joining their letters for handwriting. The letters that we don't join are shown on the screen are our descenders, G, J and Y. And we also do not join to or from X and Z. We will model our own writing. Children have time to practice this in designated handwriting lessons, and then also are expected to be using this handwriting throughout their other writing sessions. This will be differentiated to suit children if they have needs in not joining their letters or performing letters in a different way if needed. This is the way we map our maths out. It's split up into the different topics, which we will cover one by one, and there is time for some consolidation and recapping when needed. We've started the term by recapping some of the Year 4 information, especially some of the gaps that there would have been left, and then we're looking at place value. We will then go on to addition and subtraction, then looking at statistics and data gathering and graphs, before moving on to multiplication and division. We will then look at perimeter and areas, part of our shape work later on in the autumn, and then the rest of the information, as you can see, is spread out for the rest of the year. More information will just be following for our calculation. So in Year 5, these are the methods we use for addition and subtraction. More information can be found on our calculation policy, which is saved on the school website under mathematics. As you can see, we use written methods and also some other pictorial representations to help us. So as you can see in the middle, there are some place value counters, which we also provide physical resources for the children to use whilst they're doing their calculations to aid them if necessary. And there's also a bar model at the bottom to try thinking about part-whole models. So we're trying to thinking about addition and subtraction in multiple ways to try and help the children access their learning. These are our methods for multiplication and division. Again, we've also got another example using place value counters to try and make it more pictorial. This again can be done physically with the resources we have in school. Again, these ideas are shared in more detail on the calculation policy. So please follow that for more information. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to contact us at school. Things you can do at home. Please read with your children, listen to them read, model reading for them. Sharing books is a wonderful thing to know, not just reading, but asking questions about the text to try and gauge their understanding. Help your children with their spellings and homework. If you're engaged, they're more likely to engage too. Try to get to school on time. The more learning they miss, they're missing out on their education, and if they're in promptly, then they'll be ready to learn. And please ensure they're signed up to Google Classroom. There may be a need to use Google Classroom in the future, or a reason where your child has to stay at home, but they will then be able to access learning through Google Classroom. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact myself, Mrs. Richards, or Mrs. LH, or Miss Derrick at school as well. Thank you.